In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
You are listening live to the Vito and Vito Show. Disrespectful to the executive branch.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
Don't sign the damn deal, and the president will...
Therefore, I do not believe that the majority can vote a man's life or property or freedom away from him.
And we're live on the Vito and Vito Show. I'm Vito.
And I'm Vito.
We want to welcome everybody to Vito and Vito. Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Vito and Vito Show, and allow my co-host to explain what you're listening to.
We're bringing you the perspectives of two college-age millennial conservative libertarians at a liberal hellhole, Brooklyn, New York, where we're committed to defending the principles of liberty, individualism, and freedom. We hold no punches on the show.
None whatsoever.
Nope.
We are having a good night tonight because we're going to be talking about Donald Trump, Vito, and if he won the debate last night, or Wednesday night for those listening to a pre-recorded version of the program, did he win?
You want me to answer that now?
Yeah, I would hope. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, I'm going to say no.
No?
I don't think so.
Oh. I don't think Trump did as well. I don't think he lost it entirely. Well, I think his best debate was the second one.
That's absolutely true, but to say it's a full win, he had to come out and do really well. Yeah. So even though he might have won, technically, it was close, he didn't do that bad, but he needs to do much, much better than he did. That's a fact.
Well, tonight we also have a guest calling in, David Stone, author of Immigration and Your Wallet. Immigration is the most important topic in America today, and
so
has a direct negative impact on your paycheck on Friday afternoon. Why is this so important? Because supporting all of those millions of illegal and uninvited guests has become very expensive. We're going to talk with David Stone. He'll be calling in just a bit. Here, Immigration and Your Wallet is the book. We're going to talk more about that. And we're going to talk about, of course, what Donald Trump is running on, which is immigration. So we're going to have a whole conversation on those issues later on in the show. But we really want to focus in on the debate and what went down. Did Trump do well? Did he have that powerhouse thing that he should have had with him? Did he have that flair for the stage? Was he Donald Trump, the Donald Trump that we knew and loved?
We saw the old Donald Trump. We saw everything he used to do during the primary debates. He definitely calmed it down more during the last three presidential debates.
And I think that'll hurt him.
I think so too, because you have to attack Hillary Clinton. You attack Little Marco and Lion Ted, who are also Republicans.
Little Marco and Lion Ted. By the way, Ted Cruz is still a patriot, still voting for him the next time he runs around. He has all of our support here on the show.
Next time he runs around.
Well,
wherever he may run.
Got a feeling he might run for dog catcher or something, but when he does run, he's got our full support.
But Hillary Clinton, you can go after her and attack her on so many different things, it's ridiculous. So many different scandals and her failures. You have years of stuff to work with. And Donald Trump hasn't hit on these as much as he should because, listen, Donald Trump has his base. We're voting for him. Hillary Clinton has her base. Okay, the deplorables over here are going to vote for Donald Trump.
Right.
And those mindless Democrats are going to vote for Hillary. But the people in between, you either love Hillary or hate Hillary, and you either love Trump or you hate Trump. So a lot of people are going to be voting for Hillary because they hate Trump, and vice versa, they're going to vote for Trump because they hate Hillary. But now, how do you pinpoint it and bring it out that, well, Hillary's actually a criminal, and you should never vote for her? You have to attack. You have to bring up Benghazi. The emails are all being released now.
Right,
the WikiLeaks, everything are being released now. You can read the specific emails where Hillary's coming out and saying all these different racist things and all these different terrible things that her and her staffers
about
and all these
Catholics and about Mexicans and about
and how she hates everyday Americans.
Yeah.
You know, which are majority of Americans who are rich and career politicians like her. Because she's on a pedestal, because she's above the law. And this is what Donald Trump needs to attack her on. And this is what Donald Trump did not do.
Listen,
I think that would hurt him in the polls, but that won't allow him to catch up and move past her in the polls in the last couple of weeks.
I can't disagree, but I think the more you look at it, Donald Trump, contrary to what everyone wants to do, a lot of the critics of what I heard from last night say the exact same thing you're saying, Vito, and they're saying, but Trump should have done this, should have done that, he should have hit her on email, should have hit her on everything. You could only hit somebody when they're in line with the questions being asked. I mean, Donald Trump was asked questions, he gave answers, and at the same time, he stood on the message that he was really trying to get across. He was following what the moderator was saying, and I can't blame Trump entirely for not hitting her on all these different things. At the same time, he needs to hit her on all these different things, but so what? The American people know about the emails. The American people know about these things, and they're still, Democrats at least, they're still voting for Hillary. And unfortunately, those in the middle are going to swing, hopefully not, but chances are they might swing and vote for Hillary, and it's becoming more and more likely with the likes of Pennsylvania coming out. So I don't know just how much Trump has to do in order to win. He's got to pray and hope, but he has to go negative. There's no way he's going to win this campaign by running on a positive note. He cannot say the great things he's going to do for the country. He can't say he's going to turn around and just give everybody free money. He can't pull the socialist card. He's got to just buckle down, stick to his platform, and just suppress as much as Hillary's vote as possible in order to help him get over the top. That's really the only key.
Because, he's not giving away free stuff. He's not a Democrat, so that's not going to work. People are most comfortable with Hillary Clinton, these independent, moderate, and Democrat voters. They're most comfortable with Hillary Clinton, and they're not used to Donald Trump, the outsider, the new guy. The one who the media paints as racist, sexually assaults women, and all this other BS that they spew and all these lies. So, you can't run and say, I'm going to do all these positive things, because they can't trust him yet. They don't know him. Compared to they do somebody who is a career politician like Hillary Clinton,
but they can't
who
trust.
Apparently has always been there for the American people, has always been in politics.
But they can't trust Hillary neither.
That's why you have to keep running negative, because you can say, like he always says, to the African American community, what do you got to lose? You've been with Hillary Clinton for 30+ years or so, and she's done absolutely nothing for the communities. He brings up upstate New York when she was a senator, decided a carpetbag and became a quote unquote New Yorker all of a sudden. That's BS. People, they have to learn that Hillary Clinton is worse than Donald Trump. Because unfortunately, in the eyes of many Americans, they're picking between two poisons. And Donald Trump cannot say, I'm the better poison. You have to go and say that she's the worst poison. Well, Hillary Clinton is a failure. She has cost Americans and ambassadors their lives. Donald Trump hasn't done that. He has to spin, and he has to make sure everyone knows that Hillary Clinton is a crooked, disgusting criminal who's a failure and is so bad that she even costs Americans' lives.
But there's more to this than just the spinning factor and getting off the tough questions from Trump sometimes. He's also got to answer some of the tough questions. So when they ask him, is he still for the Muslim ban, I think he answered that perfectly at the second debate. He said he's not, he's for extreme vetting, which I think is a more plausible option to going out and banning all Muslims. It's easier to do extreme vetting, which, by the way, I'm a full proponent of the Muslim ban. But it goes deeper beyond the surface. If we look at where Donald Trump stands on the issues, he has policy prescriptions in place. The problem is when he is interviewed, he has such a hard time getting the answers out, getting his policy out. He has a hard time articulating what he wants to do, and then he winds up talking about how Hillary Clinton's going to raise taxes big league. You know, I get it. You're right. He's 100% right. But go deeper. Tell me a tax rate. Tell me independent analysis say your plan will cost X dollars to the budget deficit. Tell me how much the debt is projected to grow under Hillary Clinton. If you want to appeal to the so-called, and these are the real brainless voters, the moderate voters who don't stand on principle, but just rather blabber away and just say I'm independent of everything, which is absolutely nonsense considering the fact that politics really is a life and death type of a game. If you're looking at the issues and you don't know which candidate you're going to support, the way you're going to convince those independent voters to vote for you is if you come off as calm-headed and quote, rational, whatever that means. That means throwing out some statistics, and that'll be enough to sway some people. Honestly, I am a firm believer in that, Vito, I'm telling you. If you're an independent, moderate voter, you don't stand on any principles because you're so willing to be in the middle of two extremes. You got socialism on one side, and you got free markets and liberty on the other. You better pick a side if you want to go ahead and save the republic. Listen, we're going to get back to Donald Trump, but right now, calling into the Vito and Vito Show, he's the author of Immigration in Your Wallet, David Stone. Welcome to the program. We want to welcome him right now. And here he is, David Stone. Welcome.
Good evening, Vito. And Vito, how are you tonight?
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on, pal. What's going on? Why don't you tell everybody about who you are and the book you wrote, and let's talk about it.
Sure. I'm the grandson of a fellow who came here from Europe as an immigrant during the Ellis Island years, and he landed in Brooklyn, of all places. He had a house on Voorhees Avenue, and he's the guy that did it right. And I see what's happening to our country now and can relate to understanding what the right way is to do things, and I see what the wrong way is to do things. And a lot of that information is buried from the general public. The media doesn't want you to know. The system doesn't want you to know what's going on, so they make it as confusing as possible. So what I'm trying to do is take a bunch of separate information from various places and tie those dots together in a very, very simple story that absolutely everybody can understand. Immigration is probably the most misunderstood topic in America today. It has a directly negative impact on your paycheck every Friday afternoon. Why is this so important? Because supporting all those millions of illegal and uninvaded guests has become very expensive. The number is something like $113 billion a year today. So who do you think pays for all that cost? Well, that would be you and me and anybody that gets a paycheck on Friday afternoon. Somebody's got to pay for that.
Well, I went ahead and I looked at the book. And the book, by the way, for those listening in, Immigration and Your Wallet, right, by David Stone?
Absolutely. You can find it on Amazon. It's an e-book. It's engineered so that you can download it within seconds. It's designed so that you can read it on your smartphone, on any device that you have, laptop, whatever. You can grab it at Amazon or immigrationandyourwallet.com. It's only 99 cents.
Great.
There's no barrier to entry here. I want everybody to read this.
I love it. I mean, we take a look at the Center for Immigration Studies, and we looked at the amount of illegal immigrants that are on welfare, and the number's around like 60-something%. I mean, if you just calculate federal benefits, housing, you really look at if they're on one type of government benefit, if they're being supported by the taxpayer, illegal immigrants are around 60%. 60% of them are on some type of welfare system. I mean, that's really got to drain the wallet because the more and more you continue to look at the crime that pours over the southern border, the absolute atrocities that have occurred, like take a look at Kate Stiley in San Francisco, who was killed by the hands of an illegal immigrant. You just look at what's going on. It's disgusting. But I really want to talk about the economic impact of these things. Like I said, 60% of illegal immigrants, according to a Center for Immigration Studies research, shows that they are on welfare benefits. I mean, is the number more? Is it less? Is it projected to grow? Why is it that we can never get a firm grasp on the numbers here?
You know, curiously, speaking of numbers, in the Washington Examiner yesterday, a fellow named Paul Bedard, who's been writing stuff for a long time, has an article that says illegal seeking asylum is up 900%, and they get cash and welfare and school loans and before Obama came in, we were getting about 8,000. It's up to 80,000 this year, and these guys are getting Social Security benefits and school loans and green cards and welfare and tax and taxpayer stuff. We're paying their rent and buying their shoes, and I just don't think that's fair. I think that the people that work should be the beneficiary of their labor, and the people that just show up should not. And I've sort of distilled it down to what I call an elevator speech. And the problem is illegal immigration. This has nothing to do with the people that do it right. This is about the people that do it wrong. The problem is illegal information, and the solution is just stop giving them money, your money. Think of it as a huge magnet. There's a perception in some parts of the world that there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and that pot of gold lies just inside the United States southern border. And if you can just get inside that border, whether you climb or swim or boat or risk your life to do whatever, just get inside. Then you get to dip your hands into that pot of gold, stuff your pockets with as much as you can carry. You're going to be set for life, along with your aunts and your uncles and your brothers and your sisters and everybody else you can drag along with you. It's really worth the risk. Unfortunately, that pot of gold actually resides not inside our southern border, but inside your wallet on Friday afternoon. Envision a bunch of foreign nationals groping through your purse or your wallet, wanting your hard-earned money before you get any of it. It's just not fair. You know, people talk about fairness, and I just don't think that's fair. Would you agree with that?
Well, you know, I agree 100%, David. The more and more we continue to hear these stories, they're really horror stories. I mean, here's some figures for you, by the way. And this is out of Ann Coulter's book, Adios America, which is just one of my favorite
She's
books.
the hero. Yeah, actually, she's going to be, I'm going to have the chance to see her next week. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, you tell her Vito and Vito said hi. And she is absolutely wonderful. This is by an analysis done by Robert Rector at the Heritage Foundation. Legal immigrants on average get back $4,344 more in government services than they pay in taxes. Those with only a high school degree net about $14,000 in government payments, and those without a college degree collect a whopping $37,000. So, I mean, isn't that just shocking? The vast majority of illegal aliens, about 75%, have only a high school diploma or less.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
legalization. When we talk about legalizing all these illegal immigrants, these amnesty plans, we're talking about. I mean, that means that you're immediately these illegal immigrants are going to begin collecting an average of $14,000 and $37,000 per year from the U.S. taxpayer. So it seems to me like we have an immigration policy in this country that allows for those who are unskilled, have no income, don't have any sense of self-responsibility. Not all illegal immigrants, but for the most part, it seems like a lot of them are flooding into this country, and they are basically living off the system. And what is the way to cure that is basically stop giving out the money. You're right.
Just stop giving them. Just stop giving them money. It's not only allowing these people in; it's encouraging them. And then once they get here, you know, it boils down to the old saying of "Don't bite the hand that feeds you." So think of the position. Think of it from their position. All they got to do is show up. They get fed. They get housed. And all they have to do is continue voting for people that have a D after their name. You just tell them to do that, and we'll get more of them in. No problem. So from my perspective, I don't believe that the people crossing the border, I don't believe that they're the real criminals. I believe the real criminals are the folks that are in Washington, D.C., that allow and encourage this. And that's where we have to nip it in the bud. We have to start electing people that represent us. You know, the folks in Congress, we call them our representatives. So think of if you had the opportunity to stand in front of Congress and to say your piece, what would you say? Well, it's sort of hard for all of us to do that. So what we do is we elect somebody to represent us in our place. And unfortunately, these guys have only one interest at this point, and that is either getting elected or getting reelected. And they don't really care about us. They just want a nice big cushy job. And we have to start electing people with our frame of mind. This is supposed to be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And we have to do it. We have to take it back. We have to take it back. I'm looking at your bio. It talks about you guys are involved with GOP's grassroots efforts. And I like that word grassroots, and I find that it's very relevant. But if you peel another layer off of that word, before you can think about planting grass, before you can have roots of the grass, you have to have seed. And what I've just put out there is the grass seed. This is the stuff that's going to grow into the roots, that's going to grow into wherever it's supposed to go. But this is a layer down from grassroots. This is what gets planted first. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring more people into the church pews, not fewer. We got to go beyond preaching to the choir. You know, I believe that if somebody thinks that they have a Hillary bumper sticker on the back of their car, that they're going to be exempt from all this. Well, that's the farthest thing from the truth, because if we bring her in, that's going to exacerbate the situation. And the guy with that bumper sticker, he's going to pay not less but more. And he has to understand that, and she has to understand that. And the way we do that is by starting to educate them, by sharing these stories. And that's what I'm trying to do. This is something that you can read on anybody's laptop, on anybody's cell phone. You can be reading it within seconds of going to Amazon and clicking on Immigration and Your Wallet.
Well, that's the title of the book, Immigration and Your Wallet. The author, David Stone, with us on Vito and Vito. David, do you mind sticking around with us? We're going to talk about Donald Trump and the debate right after our break. Is that all right with you?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So just stay on the line. David Stone, Immigration and Your Wallet. When we return here to Vito and Vito, debate talk with author David Stone. Not go anywhere.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save.
Your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org, brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs, the California Society of CPAs, and the Ad Council.
Fighting the Common Core standards? Need a powerful tool to help inform others on this harmful education initiative? You're covered with Common Ground on Common Core, the collection of essays by 20 top education experts and activists. Reviewers call it the best single resource on the topic. You can share it with literally anyone. Order your print or digital copy of Common Ground on Common Core today. Just visit resoundingbooks.org. That's resoundingbooks.org. And get $2 off when you tell them Vito and Vito sent you. Paid for by Resounding Books Pack.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
Was the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ReadyPA.org, brought to you by ReadyPA, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
And we're back to the Vito and Vito show. I'm Vito, and Vito is somewhere else. Anyway, so we got a great show lined up for you. David Stone, author of Immigration in Your Wallet. David, welcome back. You there, David?
I sure am. How you doing,
There
guys?
you go. What's up, buddy? All right, so we're talking about his book here. We were talking about his book, Immigration and Your Wallet. You can check it out on Amazon. David Stone. And we're going to talk about Donald Trump. We're going to finish up our interview right here. So what do you think of Donald Trump, pal? You know he's made immigration number one in his campaign. Is it a pretty good strategy to run on?
Absolutely. He's got to be my hero these days. He's what we need. He's what we need. He's the hardest working salesman out there. I see his competition just sort of hibernating and trying to not make any waves and just try and not do anything wrong. This guy is out there every day, soaking the fires, doing meetings after meetings after huge auditoriums of people. I can't imagine how much that takes out of you doing so many of those things day after day after day after day, spreading the word. Absolutely. We need more of that. We need people that work.
How do you think he did last night? I mean, Vito and I seem to both agree and disagree in some points on whether or not he executed well. Should he have been himself, his old self, the self that made him who he was? Or should he have been more articulate in policy? Or was he fine? Was he perfect? I mean, what did you think?
I think that his strategy was to do nothing wrong last night. Don't do anything wrong. The one thing that I think where he missed an opportunity is at the end. He could have turned to the moderator and said, "Listen, Hillary Clinton here has been. You tell her to be quiet. She just talks and talks and talks. We're supposed to have rules. You're supposed to be the moderator. You're supposed to moderate things. She gets her way, and you don't stop her. And that's really the problem. And that is there's rules for everybody else, and there's no rules for the Clintons. And that's just another example of Hillary being able to do any darn thing she wants, never get called on it, gets away with it, and everybody else has to play by the rules. And if he had brought that up at the end, I think he would have scored big.
Well, I tend to agree, too. I still think it's hard for him to pivot away. He's got to learn the art of pivoting in a way. The fact that we're talking about it sort of shows you that that's one of the biggest problems with politicians, is that they don't know how to pivot. That all they do is pivot. All they do is just spin and try to go back to their safe zone. But really, Donald Trump has that problem because he's never had to be a liar and spin and BS his way through things. He tells it like it is, and that should highlight the difference between him, a politician, especially Hillary Clinton. David Stone, go ahead, pal, go ahead.
She's been doing it for 30 years. She's got lots of experience.
That's the point. That's the problem. And I think that's why we need some fresh blood up in there, specifically some fresh 70-year-old blood in Donald Trump. But he's fresh in the fact that he is not a part of any political establishment. He's an outsider. I'll give him that. He is an outsider. But I don't know if he's as much of an outsider as Ted Cruz in terms of rebelling against the government, but the fact is he's going to go in there and shake things up, and I think that's what we need.
Thank you.
No problem, pal. Thank you. David Stone, author of Immigration and Your Wallet. We want to thank you for having coming on, pal. Thanks a lot, and we wish you the best. Check out the book. It's on Amazon, Immigration and Your Wallet. David Stone. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you.
And there he was. Vito, what you think?
I get great interviews for the show.
You do. You do so much work. It's unbelievable.
You're welcome. You enjoy the interview?
I loved it.
He was good.
He was good. He was good. I liked him. He said the fact you want to solve illegal immigration, just stop giving them your money. Is there a problem with that?
That's a big thing, and I love how Donald Trump has a solution, yet so many Americans completely disregard this and say it's racist because they don't understand that there is a problem. Because the truth is, why does Hillary and all these Democrats want these illegal immigrants coming in, and then they legalize them? Why? Because they're going to vote Democrat.
That's the problem.
Who did them the favor? Now the problem, not even just legalize them or let them become citizens. There are so many illegal immigrants who are registered to vote. I think Donald Trump said during the debate was about 14 million. There's a good amount. Millions of illegal immigrants, illegal people are registered to vote. That's illegal. And you know how you can also stop this? Voter ID.
Almost half of all driver licenses issued in California are to illegal immigrants.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't that ridiculous?
So they completely disregarding the law.
And then they won't be protected by the law. Go figure that one out.
But that's illegal. So who's supposed to come down on these states and cities who are breaking the law?
Well, it's really the job of the federal government to end the sanctuary cities, but the more and more we continue to have this problem, the more and more we're going to be stuck in this dilemma.
That's why we need Trump.
I think Trump is a fresh
Make
batch
America great again.
All right, a fresh batch of young blood. And I think the more and more we see Donald Trump doing what he does, the better off he'll be. Going back to the debate, Vito, I think he had some good moments. Let's not discredit him. He had some pretty good moments at the debate.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when he called out Hillary Clinton. He says, you've been there for 30-something years. You've been in this game for a very long time. Why don't you do anything about it? And she responded by laughing and giving that pretentious sort of a laugh, that stupid smirk that she gives.
Well, she pivots. She always pivots. She's a master debater. Just like Bill.
She's a master debater.
Oh! And she pivots, and, she smiles, and she laughs, and, she tries to be all personal with the Democrats and pull the heartstrings, and, Donald's lying. Of course, she always says Donald. Donald's lying. That's not true. Look at the facts. Then Donald's sitting there. Wrong. Well,
I mean, it's a bit ridiculous. The fact is here, and this has to go into deeper stuff here, because, the debate was one thing. Can Trump win is another. And I think you got to look at the Electoral College map. So if you go to...
So you pull up your map over here.
And I got it pulled up just perfectly. You see
pull
it there, Vito?
On the green screen over
on
here.
On the green screen. If you see on this part of the country, Trump is kind of screwed. No. We take a look, obviously, the regular states are in play. So Texas, New York, we know where those states are. Where they
well, even though a couple months ago you said that Trump was going to win New York.
You got to go back in the tapes.
I'm not telling you this down.
We'll see. But let's take a look at some of these tapes. So let's take a look at some of these maps. Donald Trump, if you go to the Real Clear Politics website, you'll get an electoral map. There's 270 to win. So there's all these different maps you can look at.
And they have the interactive map, right, that you can play around with.
Yeah, you can play around.
What happens if California decides to vote for Trump?
Yeah, that would be great. If California decides to vote for Trump, he'll have 212 electoral college votes with the rest of the states that'll vote for him. But that won't happen. So here's where the map currently stands: 256 Clinton, 157 Trump. Of course, you need 270 to win. If you don't know that, go open a textbook. So we take a look at the map right here.
Okay, so just starting off, Hillary needs 14 electoral votes.
Pretty much. I mean, they have the map against Trump.
Oh my God!
And it's because he hasn't won Pennsylvania. I mean, let's assume for a second that Pennsylvania was, a swing state. It would be a much easier contest for Trump. It's not. It's going blue, and that's what sucks the most here, is the fact that was really a state for him to pull out. I think he could have really done well in that thing, but he wasn't able to do it. He's in big trouble in Pennsylvania.
Well, do you see for the general election, I can see Trump having just about even or even more popular votes, but still losing the electoral votes, which would be a shame.
You're saying that he'll have more popular votes?
Yeah.
So what are you, Al Gore? Are you excited for the Al Gore thing, Vito? He's down by 6 points in Pennsylvania, by the way. So it's pretty much done there.
He's down by a touchdown. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Yeah, he's not playing football. There's a difference. So we take a look. Donald Trump down in Pennsylvania.
Well, what about because we still got Florida.
Now here are the rest of the states that are up in play. Wisconsin's in play. Iowa's in play. Ohio, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. New Hampshire is now back in play. So let's go ahead and take a look at where these states can go to see where Trump could win. If Trump wins Ohio, which I think he will, even though John Kasich is a total scum, and he will not come out and endorse Donald Trump.
He didn't even come to the
convention. He didn't even go to the
right?
convention that was in his home state. Nonetheless,
Some
Republican is right. Ohio is there. So I think Trump can win Ohio. That's 18 electoral college votes, and that leaves Trump at 175. He wins Florida. I think he can win Florida. It's pretty close.
That's when he breaks 200.
And then he'll break 200, he'll get a 204. Now, it's not over. I think he could even go ahead and win Arizona, contrary to John McCain. And that'll be 215.
Yeah, but Hillary's still at the goal line.
Hillary's still there at 256. And here's the kicker. Iowa is going to go for Trump. I don't see why this is a battleground state. And when the computer fixes, there we go. All right, it froze there for a second because I think it's unbelievable.
All right, but what's that right there with the stripes?
The thing with the stripes.
There you go.
Oh, well, that's Nebraska and Maine have different rules, so they have 2 electoral college votes. No, I'm sorry, they split the votes.
So you think that's gonna be split?
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's gonna go blue. Maine's gonna go blue, and Nebraska's gonna go red. I don't see these votes splitting. Anyway, the point is, right now with Trump winning Arizona, Florida, Ohio, and Iowa. He's at 221. Clinton winning Pennsylvania and Virginia. She's at 256, along with Colorado and New Mexico.
She needs like 1 or 2 states.
She needs a lot more than that. So let's go ahead and assume. This
Guam.
is all with these... Guam. All right. Let's all assume here for a second that Nevada swings for Trump. And that's what I got a feeling. Nevada is going to swing for Trump. It did very well before, and I think in the primary... And I think Nevada has this sort of ability that can give Trump an edge. She's up by 4.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is Nevada, Trump was leading at a certain point. He was leading in Nevada, the battleground state. And that certain point was around, there we go, around September 20th.
About a month ago.
About a month ago. And the way he was able to win in Nevada was by sticking on message.
Right, but then she's running away with it. If you look at the charts,
she's running away with it only because you had the tapes, and it's indicated by the tapes. By the 15th or whatever, it's pretty much that's split into 4 different points. But I'm not so worried about Nevada. But you know what, Vito? Just to agree with you, I'll give Nevada to Clinton.
I was going to say, I think Clinton's going to win Nevada.
So I'll agree with you just on the face of that argument. We'll make this map a compromise. That leaves Clinton at... Nevada has 6 votes, so she'll wind up at 262. So 262 to 221. Clinton has Nevada and Pennsylvania. Trump has Florida, Ohio, Arizona, Iowa. Ohio. So what else is there to go for? Well, the big states that are in play are going to be Utah, which I think is going to go red. And Georgia, which I think is going to go red. I know Obama won Georgia before, but I can't see Clinton winning again. I just really can't. And just for those who are listening,
let's check the
Trump's up by 5, so I don't see how Georgia's going to be this big of a loss for Donald Trump.
Well, you don't know. You certainly don't know, because Nevada's up, she's up by how much? 6?
6.
And you're saying Trump can definitely win that.
I think he can pull something out of Nevada. It's going to be difficult, but you know what? Nonetheless, he
won. Margin of error.
He won because it's way out of their margin of error. I just think there's just that the people who aren't being polled are really the people that are going to go ahead and put Trump over the top. But just so we have a recap here, Trump wins Florida, Ohio, Georgia, Iowa, Utah, Arizona. That puts him at 243. Those are the battleground states he would win. Clinton wins Nevada, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Colorado, New Mexico. That puts her at 262. Now the question is, what puts Clinton over the top?
Well, there's 2 states left in play.
There's 3 actually. New Hampshire also is 4. So let's go ahead and just give Wisconsin, for example. Let's give it to Clinton. That would end the election. Trump would have to go ahead and stop Clinton from winning Wisconsin and North Carolina. You can see how tough of a road it's going to be for Donald Trump. And that's just by looking at all the polling data and just trying to be as fair as possible. New Hampshire is also going to be tight. But nonetheless, the point is, if Donald Trump wants to win, he's got to run the table. He's got to run the table and make sure he wins Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and ultimately North Carolina. Those are the states he has to win. He's got to keep Clinton away from winning Wisconsin, Nevada, North Carolina,
Florida,
or New Hampshire. And, of course, Ohio and Florida. It is that close. It is that close. Go to 270towin.com and go ahead and try to make your own electoral college map, because it really is a tough one, Vito. Can he win? Regardless of debate performances, can this man win? I don't know. I'll give you this much, though. I do not want... This is my first presidential election I'll be voting for. Or voting in, rather. And the last thing I want to do is vote, lose, and then have to be governed by Hillary Clinton. Wouldn't that suck? I mean, that's really gotta suck. I mean, there is no better Democrat out there that could run. You're sticking me with the most corrupt person on the face of the earth. You take a look at these WikiLeaks emails. John Podesta should be locked up, along with President Obama. The pay-for-play schemes that are going on through the Clinton emails and the Clinton Foundation should shock everybody. Did you know, Vito, that there were 27 or 28 FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act requests, on behalf of the Washington Post and the New York Times, specifically for Trump's tax returns, but there is zero FOIA request for Hillary Clinton's emails? Even though the New York Times broke the story, they have yet to comment on that story after the fact. But they are interviewing women that sat with Donald Trump on a plane 30 years ago, and they continue to allege that he touched them, and he's a rapist and a molester, but none of these news networks will interview Juanita Broderick. None of these news networks will interview Paula Jones or any of the other women that have accused Bill Clinton for stuff. So honestly, Vito, I just can't see where Trump is going to get out of this. I pray to God he does, because I don't want to have to live in a Hillary Clinton America, and I don't think anybody else wants to neither, regardless of whether they're a millennial or whether they're an older senior citizen. We're going to break. When we return, forget about it moments, lighten the mood, because we're all going to hell. Don't go anywhere.
Forget about it?
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Paul, forget about it.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save.
Your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org, brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs, the California Society of CPAs, and the Ad Council.
Fighting the Common Core standards? Need a powerful tool to help inform others on this harmful education initiative? You're covered with Common Ground on Common Core, the collection of essays by 20 top education experts and activists. Reviewers call it the best single resource on the topic. You can share it with literally anyone. Order your print or digital copy of Common Ground on Common Core today. Just visit resoundingbooks.org. That's resoundingbooks.org. And get $2 off when you tell them Vito and Vito sent you. Paid for by Resounding Books Pack.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ReadyPA.org, brought to you by ReadyPA, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
And we're back with the Vito and Vito show.
What are you, Bill Clinton? Are you kidding me right now? Are we doing this?
I am. I like it.
You sound like a frog is stuck in your throat.
I did not have sexual relations with them. I did. I liked it. I did. You know. I like to grab them by the...
Bill, let me ask you a question. What do you have to say about Juanita Broderick and Paula Jones?
They were really bad in bed.
All right. Yeah, we went there.
Or should I say on the Oval Office?
You know, maybe... I think you know one of the reasons why these women are going after Bill Clinton.
Because he wasn't good?
Because he wasn't good. I think so. No, I'm joking. That's a serious thing. But it's a joke, so we could all laugh at it. Anyway, here's a book about jokes. Common Core.
Great segue.
Thanks, buddy. Now get uncommon arguments against Common Core, the best single resource for understanding and fighting back against Common Core that exists. Logan Albright of Freedom Works said that. And Common Ground on Common Core is a great book. It is voices from across the political spectrum expose the realities of the Common Core state standards. So when an ideologically diverse array of the nation's top education activists and experts come together within the pages of a single volume to speak out against the Common Core state standards and related initiatives in education, the magnitude of the issue couldn't be any clearer. There's a forward in there by U.S. Congressman Ron Paul, former U.S. Congressman Ron Paul. And the book is absolutely great. I mean, it has authors from Republican, Democrat, teacher, student, whatever, parent, and it's all in this book. Common Ground on Common Core. Voices from across the political spectrum expose the realities of the Common Core state standards. And go to www.vitoandvito.com. Click on the left-hand side of the page. You'll see a link for this thing. Go ahead, click on the link, and you save 10% with the promo code Vito and Vito. 10% off with Vito and Vito, the promo code. So Common Ground on Common Core. Voices from across the political spectrum expose the realities of the Common Core state standards. Use this in your next town hall meeting. Use the arguments in this book the next time you see your local elected official and tell them that you don't want Common Core in your area, in your district, in your schools, affecting your children. Make education local, as Donald Trump says. Go to www.vitoandvito.com for more information. It's that time of the week again, Vito. Forget about it, moments of the week.
Forget about it?
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Paul, forget about it.
That's right. Forget about it, moments of the weekend. The Vito and Vito show. I love that little thing that we do every week. That forget about it thing, right?
Forget about it.
There you go. It's my favorite
Forget
thing.
about it.
For those of you who don't know what this is, we break down some of the craziest moments that have happened this past
If I could do a whole show as Bill Clinton, I would love that.
Well, you know what? I don't know if the listeners will. I certainly wouldn't. I hear it all the time.
I'm going to vote for Trump, too.
Really? Why?
Because Hillary's terrible in bed. Did you hear that apparently there's going to be a bombshell that she's a lesbian? I knew it.
Maybe that's why Bill Clinton cheated on
It's those pantsuits, I'm telling you.
I don't know. That's what I heard.
Did she not look like Dr. Evil on that stage last night?
She had the thing here with the tabbed collar, a little bit.
So Bigglesworth. Anyway, forget about it. Okay.
Hold on, they say she's going to be a lesbian. We should talk about that.
She's going to be.
She's going to be a lesbian.
That's her Halloween costume.
She's coming out as a lesbian. You believe that? I don't know. Matt Drudge tweeted something about that. He had a picture of her and Ellen DeGeneres when she was on the Ellen DeGeneres show this past
I like Ellen.
week or whatever. I like Ellen too. She's pretty funny, but
me too.
Who knows? He tweeted out something said, "Oh, that sex stuff. Hillary's going to get hers," and I don't know. Sources say Saturday. It's when the bombshell breaks. What do you got, Vito?
Well, according to the Daily Mail, there's a new study that shows women have worse road rage.
Say it again?
Women have worse road rage than men.
Because they drive horribly. Let's bring on a woman perspective. Here she comes. She is one of your students, Vito. One of your students.
Teacher.
One of your peers. One of your peers. One of your classmates. This is Annie.
Hi.
What's up, Annie? Guys, speaking to the microphone for us, will you? Vito, how are you holding?
There you go. Annie, do you drive vehicular?
Vehicular.
Yes, I do a Volkswagen.
You drive a Volkswagen?
Volkswagen.
Are you a hippie? Did you vote for Bernie Sanders in the past?
Of course I did.
You did?
Yeah.
So you're a Democrat.
Of course.
You're a proud Democrat.
Very proud.
If
I have
you
a tattoo of Bernie Sanders. I call it a tramp stamp, but
I got a Trump stamp. I'm not going to tell you where. Anyway. Well, that's something. All right, so what do you think about this? Are you really a Democrat, seriously?
No, I'm really
all right,
not.
no, there
you
you
guys
go.
know I'm
I know you're not. I was going to say,
the
there's the bombshell. So you're voting for Donald Trump, right?
Probably.
All right, you're a college student.
Yes.
All right, and are women worse drivers?
No.
That's the wrong answer.
That is the wrong answer.
You do not win a free car.
Sorry, you don't win. Sorry about that.
Anything. Because like Donald Trump says, women are the worst drivers. Now, he did not say that. But apparently they have worse road rage because they had a study that 96% of men have massive road rage, but they reversed that with the new study saying that more women get just angry behind the wheel. And ready for this? 54% of people driving in the car enjoy singing while driving.
Well, dare, who doesn't enjoy singing and
I roll down the windows. I yell at people. I don't even sing the lyrics sometimes. I just yell.
Yeah, what else, Bill?
I do a lot of things.
All right.
And also, do you want to guess the number one, according to the study, the most popular song people sing in the car? If you get this right, Bill Clinton will go home with you.
Oh, great.
No.
The number one song?
The number one song that people sing in the car.
That song from White Chicks.
Candy Shop.
Candy Shop.
That's wrong.
The song from White Chicks.
Make My Way Downtown?
Making My Way Downtown. Yeah, that thing.
But it's also from a movie, the song they sing.
Is it a comedy?
It's also from one of the greatest, most flamboyant singers of all time. That's right, Vito. It's Bohemian Rhapsody. Congratulations.
Oh, well, look at that. Thank you, Vito. You got the right answer. Yeah, Vito's got this interesting keyboard here. It's a rainbow keyboard. It lights up and everything.
It's not really rainbow. It's just different colors.
If we could light the White House up in rainbow colors, we gotta light up Vito and Vito's keyboard. What else you got, Vito? So women are worse drivers. That's because they PMS all the time. Go ahead. That's gonna be used against me in the next presidential, my next run for city council or race or whatever.
They're bleeding from their wherevers.
So I guess I didn't get the women vote. All right.
They're bleeding from the wherevers.
Did you see the repeal the thing? What was that Twitter hashtag you saw? Repeal the 19th or something?
Yeah.
Right?
Because one Trump supporter said we should repeal the 19th because if women didn't vote, Trump would win in a landslide.
So let's go ahead. We should do that.
So all the Democrats blew that up. Like, oh, Republicans hate the 19th. They hate women. They hate everyone.
It's a joke. You know what else is a joke? The 18th
I love
Amendment.
women. I do. I love them.
The 18th Amendment was also a joke.
And the 16th.
And the 16th. That's right.
And wait, you said that the
Prohibition. It was 18, yes.
That was BS.
Stop going any further for you offend more people. All right, what else you got? What else you
got? Apparently in the United States, STDs are up.
Bill Clinton on the loose?
Yeah, is Bill Clinton? That's right. Is Bill Clinton on the loose? That's right.
You want to guess the 3 diseases that are most popular now among Americans?
I'm gonna go with gonorrhea, syphilis, and herpes.
Oh, you're close.
What do I know?
Yes, gonorrhea is up 13%. 440,000 Americans have it.
Oh.
Syphilis up 19%. 24,000 Americans burn when they pee. And chlamydia.
Yeah.
Up 6%. 1.5 million Americans have chlamydia.
Oh, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
But it's a fun word to say.
It is a fun word. Chlamydia. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Chlamydia.
It's like mouth exercise before we go on the show. Just walk around saying chlamydia. Yeah, it works the jaw.
Yep, we walk into our
Bill
local...
told me that one.
We walk into our local church, and that's what we say in order to get ready for our sermons.
Chlamydia.
Anyway, if you look, Vito, there's this whole thing with feminists. And
my favorite.
Yeah, and the feminists say we need to own our diseases. These women have herpes and syphilis and gonorrhea. They have to own their diseases.
Does that go
be
for mental
proud,
illnesses?
because that's what the only reason we got this is because we were independent women who did what we wanted to do, and got a disease, and we're proud of it. And I'm like, that's disgusting. It says "own your status" is the hashtag. So go take a look at that.
Oh, it's actually a thing.
It's a thing. I swear to
God.
God.
I cry when I pee. Look at me. I have an STD.
And don't forget, they're going to go to Planned Parenthood, and they're going to go ahead and want to get treated for this on taxpayers' money. So, not only is abortions paid for at Planned Parenthood...
I would love to be a doctor there.
But you got to... Why? Why?
It's like, ma'am, everything is discolored.
That is disgusting. That is pretty disgusting.
People walk around like, oh, how many diseases do you have this week, Joe? It's like a game.
It is, and
it's like that sex roulette thing they have in Europe going.
Yeah, they had that sex roulette thing. Okay, it's ridiculous. And the sex orgy tent at the Burning Man Festival in California. You remember that?
Yeah.
There was a whole tent just dedicated to orgies, and you go in there and just knock yourself out.
Like
not against it.
Like Woodstock. Just drugs, rock and roll, and sex in the fields.
Yeah, I thought that was CPAC too.
The CPAC comment. Heard that? CPAC. Oh, look at that. Poor Bill. Bill would have a lot of fun at CPAC. There are some beautiful women walking around CPAC.
I like women. What? I do.
There are beautiful women walking around CPAC. Michelle Bachmann.
You just have a thing for Michelle Bachmann.
And Sharon Angle. Remember her?
Okay, if Hillary Clinton comes out as a lesbian, would you be upset? you're
a little bit. Look, I don't take anything off the table. I said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't take anything off. If you are a female and you're over the age of 18, you're both legally and biologically attracted to me. So I don't see what the problem is.
Great. That's not cocky at all.
What else you got? Be the last one.
Last one. A woman in Texas, right for this, she enslaved 2 illegal Mexican immigrants and told them she was the voice of God, and that if they would run away and not be their slaves anymore, that they would go to hell. This is true.
I never laughed this hard and forget that moment in my life, but this is the one that
she enslaved them. If Trump's not building the wall, this lady will keep them out, okay?
Where did she put them? In, like, the basement or something?
Yeah, like, she had them as, like, slaves. She enslaved illegal Mexicans and said that if you run away, you're going to hell. And apparently they stayed. Maybe they don't speak English. Or
he was the voice of God. That's sick. It's like a... that woman needs
you're like, all right, we'll go back. You got us.
We'll just have her run around to all the sanctuary cities, and we'll have her...
She's enslaving Mexicans.
Enslaving Mexicans. My God.
Jesus.
My God, that is absolutely hilarious. Anyway, I want to thank you for listening to the Vito and Vito Show. Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow at Vito and Vito Show at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I want to thank everyone for listening in, and our friend Annie here who insulted me, but whatever.
And me.
And, yeah, well, you're a part of the show.
Nothing
but love, and that's...
Not a safe space over here.
That's right, it's not a safe space. It's not a safe space, but this is how rumors and gossip starts. Now I have to go to National Enquirer and defend my record. Anyway, Vito and Vito in Brooklyn.
It's nothing but the truth.